as by request, I'm going to make a video on how to make a bird collar to help keep your bird from feather plucking or just causing damage to itself in general. So a couple things you'll need to start. There'll be a pair of scissors, permanent marker preferably, because you'll be drawing. If you go by this tutorial, you'll be using x-ray film, which is the next thing you'll need. You can get x-ray film at your local veterinarian office that still does old school x-ray processing. If you ask them if they have any old processing film that they want to throw out, and you can usually let them know what you're using it for because they're going to look at you funny, and you can use that. Something similar, you just have to get creative with it and see what is out there that's flexible but not too flexible, that they can still see through, and that's a very important thing for birds. If you had something around you that you couldn't see through, you'd be scared to death, and they rely so much upon eyesight and their beak ability to get around and to be mobile, that to have something that they couldn't see through or reach around to an extent would be detrimental to them. So the next thing you'll want to get is some foam or something similar to this. You can buy this foam at the Dollar Tree in about a 30 pack, and it comes in a variety of colors. It's very soft, it's very pliable, and it generally works very well for my specific bird. If you have a bigger bird, you may need to go with a thicker diameter so that they can't chew through it as fast. But for the smaller birds, like cockatiels and smaller, this will probably work just fine. For a bigger bird, you may need to find the piping covering you can get at your local hardware store. You may be able to get it at Walmart. I haven't quite checked yet there. In a bigger diameter, of course. You may need to use that so they can't chew it through it so fast. So what you'll want to do when you're doing this is you'll want to take some circular object to trace on your x-ray film or wherever you have, to make the diameter that will not allow for your bird to chew around it. I did a few measurements myself just to see what I had and what maybe, you could possibly use it for, what kind of bird. The bottom of this bottle, and again, try to get creative with whatever you have at home to make the circle out of. The bottom of this bottle is about 2.5 inches. This is what I used when I made my bird's e-collar for the diameter all the way around. It worked great. You can also probably use that size for a smaller bird like a budgie, but if you have finches or canaries, you may have to get a little bit more creative and make something smaller, like the lid of a Frappuccino cup or something of that sort, which is probably about 1.5 to 2 inches. The next thing you can use, if you have another different size bird, sun conures, perhaps an eclectus. You may have to go a little bit bigger for an eclectus, which I'll get to in the next size. Can lids, and this is also just a screw top that goes on some, like a peanut jar or something. And these, I believe, are 3.5 inches in diameter. In case you're not familiar with diameter, diameter is the measurement all the way across the very center point of the circular object. So that is what you're looking for. Other thing you may want, this is a candle holder. This one is about 5 inches in diameter. This one would probably be appropriate for your eclectus. Amazon parrots, that's tough. I haven't had much time spent around Amazon parrots, so I couldn't really judge the size very well. I'd probably say either this, if not, probably a little bit bigger, but you're going to have to get creative with that one. Maybe a small plate, a child's plate or something of that sort. So once you've drawn your circle and you've cut out the basic circle of it, for the very center circle that's going to go around whatever your collar part is, for mine, I used a quarter. Placed it in the very middle and traced it, and then cut out the circle to make a hole. And I'll put this on paper just so you can see here. So I've cut out the very center circle after tracing around something that was big enough to allow for the diameter of my bird's neck. And again, what I do is I take this foam, you cut it down to the appropriate size. Now lengthwise, right here on the neck is what you want to be cautious about. What I did for my bird is while she was resting, just in a normal position, she wasn't scrunched up and snuggly, but she was just in a normal resting position. I measured by gauge with my thumb from her cheekbone, the bottom of her cheekbone, all the way down to basically her shoulder area to see how big that was, so that I made an appropriate length for that. If you make it too long, you stand the chance of making it a posture collar where her neck is just straight as opposed to being able to move and bend freely. If you make it too short, you stand the risk that they can reach over it even with the film around it, which is where I went wrong the first time. So you kind of have to just judge it for yourself. You may need to make a few of these. That's why I said they sell these in a 30-pack at the Dollar Tree. I went through maybe 2 of them before I got it right. So what you'll then do after you figure that out is you would kind of just make it a circle. Take your x-ray film that you've just cut, and you'll basically cut one side, a slit in it, so that you can open it up, and you'll put it around it like this. Now you want to make sure, I'm going to get a little closer here, that the openings are matching up, so that when you go to open that to put it on your bird, which I'll show you a little better one here, that they open up together so that you can slide it around the bird's neck and close it. Now as you'll notice, there's some overlappage here, which is what you want, because you don't want the x-ray film to be poking the bird's neck, causing them irritation, because that's a big no-no. And then once you've slid it on, what I've done is I've actually put the cone part of it further down towards the bottom edge of the foam. The reason being is it allows my bird to be able to move this a little bit more and get some flexibility up in the neck region without being able to still reach around the x-ray film portion of that. And then you just glue it around. You can also flip it like this and put it on the bird and see if that gives any better control over how far the reach is. Works really good. Just use the hot glue gun. I wouldn't suggest using super glue because that'll probably eat through the foam. The next thing that I want to talk about is what not to use. My hatred of all hatreds is this cardboard tubing. I've heard it time and time again that a veterinary office or somebody had used cardboard tubing. Please keep in mind, would you want to wear cardboard tube around your neck all day long? I didn't think so. Neither would I. It's very uncomfortable, not to mention that it can cause sores around your bird's shoulders and necks depending on where it's resting. It can even pull feathers off because of the rigidity of it. So just keep that in mind. The diameters, again, you'll just have to mess with them, see what you have around your house. If you have questions about what size you think may be appropriate for the bird you have, please feel free to email me. Let me know what kind of bird you have, and I'll try to help you out the best I can. So another thing I wanted to let you know, some things you can try if you haven't already, because Lord knows I've tried everything on my bird for feather plucking, as well as keeping the cone on. You can also try some other products in case they are able to reach over just a little bit, but still have great movement. This stuff is called Fooey. It tastes awful. I drenched my bird in it and she still plucked, but that was before I had the collar on her. It tastes awful. I can't stress that enough. I've gotten it on my fingers after petting her and it just, it's awful. But it may deter your bird. They even have a little bird picture on here, so hopefully. This, keep in mind, any product you put on your bird, make sure that it doesn't sting. If it does sting, it's going to cause them more discomfort, which may lead to them plucking further and doing more damage. The next thing that I have tried is gentamicin spray. It's an anti-itch spray that also has a steroidal property to it, very mild, and antimicrobial portion of it as well, that helps to get rid of topical infections as well as inflammation and itching. Use this only if the veterinarian says you can. I got approval for my bird. Make sure if your bird is on any medications, you ask them if you can use it. I don't honestly know if you can get this over the counter, but I'm sure you can check online. Again, the name is gentamicin, Gentamicin. They'll probably be able to direct you to what they have that may be similar if they don't have that specific thing. The last thing that you can try, a lot of AVs use this, is called Soother Plus. You can find this anywhere online. It's all natural product. It's almost like a lotion essentially that has like aloe vera, that helps to get rid of, the itching and all the soothing properties to it, and hydration. So I don't know, if it will work specifically for your bird. It depends on what's going on, because there's lots of reasons for feather plucking. Lord knows that. Again, just be sure that any product you use on your bird, approve it with an avian veterinarian or someone who's at least worked with birds and knows a lot about them. Any product you use on them can be potential for feather plucking. Especially don't use human lotions on your bird unless it's 100% pure product, like aloe vera or something soothing of that nature, because if you have a lot of fragrance or a lot of dyes or chemicals, especially rubbing alcohol, you're going to burn your bird's skin and it's going to itch, they're going to be irritated, they're going to pluck, and you're going to be right back where you started. The best of luck for you. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, just send me a line and I'll see if I can help you. Good luck!